If such a scenario, and now I have to choose my words with particular care, if such a scenario were to emerge, this is the first option, then at the end of such a limited war, the outcome would not be difficult for us to envisage, namely that Iran will be the dominant actor in that entire region. That the Saudi royal family would have to exit from the stage of history. And that most likely ISIS will find a home in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca and Medina. But ISIS is a particularly venomous snake. And it seems to have been created with a particularly major objective of inciting and fomenting Shia-Sunni civil war in the world of Islam. And so an ISIS taking control of Arabia will be the bait, which I hope and I pray that Iran does not bite. Because if Iran were to foolishly bite that bait, and to ever launch an attack on Arabia, then those who created ISIS will get what they wanted, namely Shia-Sunni civil war in the world of Islam, and the major beneficiary will be the state of Israel. I will myself use my voice as powerfully as I can to condemn Iran. If Iran were to ever make such a stupid mistake as to launch an attack on Arabia. The second possibility, and we must move quickly now, is that if Turkey launches an attack on Syria, as we expect soon, then NATO would intervene. Because Turkey is a NATO member state and there are legal obligations if a NATO member state is at war. And if NATO intervenes, well then we're going to have the world war. If the world war takes place, of course it's going to be nuclear war. And if it's nuclear war, then only the nuclear scientists really will be able to tell us what's going to happen to the world if a nuclear war takes place. But we're hoping that Pero will be able to at least give us some help in understanding what kind of a world will it be if a world war takes place. And now for Islamic eschatology and what it has to say concerning world war. We are familiar with what the Prophet said, Allah's blessings be upon him. It's just that we don't put it into context. Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, said that the river Euphrates will one day uncover a mountain of gold. And people will fight for that gold. And 99 out of every 100 who fight for the gold would be killed. And each would say, I will be the one who will survive. But those who believe in the one God should not touch that gold. We have recognized this to be religious symbolism, and last August in our seminar right here in Geneva, we offered an interpretation that the mountain of gold is not to be understood as a metal, mountain of metal. There are those, of course, who insist on a literal understanding, and hence they're waiting for the mountain of the metal to come out from underneath the river. But we say no, it is religious symbolism. And in 1974, an ocean of oil underneath the river began to function as a mountain of gold. An ocean of oil underneath the river, Euphrates, began to function as a mountain of gold. When? How? When Henry Kissinger got King Faisal to agree to this amazing request that oil should be sold. What an arrogant request. What an arrogant request. That oil should be sold for only US dollars. And they say, we are the people who have given you the free market. Really? Is this a free market? Have you no shame? Have you no shame? Is this a free market? That if I want to buy oil with gold, I cannot buy it, even with gold. I can't buy it with anything else other than US dollars. When Faisal agreed to that, and then he got the other Arab oil producing countries to agree, and then OPEC came into being as the greatest achievement of the Zionist movement. And OPEC also instituted this. Then something came into being called the petrodollar. And the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam materialized. But he said they're going to fight over that mountain of gold. Watch it, what the Prophet said. That fight is coming into being now, that fight is about to take place because of BRICS. Because BRICS is a threat to the petrodollar monetary system. And Russia is the leader of BRICS. Without Russia, China would not be there. And without Russia and China, forget it. India and Brazil and South Africa are just little boys. And so, from our eschatological perspective, the big war is coming. And we can see and understand there's going to be the war over the mountain of gold. And so Ukraine is a sideshow. Syria is the sideshow. The mountain of gold is the cause of the war. In order to maintain their rule over the world, they must maintain their rule over money. You cannot rule the world unless you rule the world of money. And you cannot rule the world of money so long as mankind is using gold and silver as money. No. You got to get rid of gold and silver as money, because this is money with intrinsic value. This is real money. And you got to replace it with something called monopoly money. Someone else called it toilet paper money.